Greetings to all of you from the Happy Isles of Solomon Islands. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my journey as an IEP Peace Ambassador. I hope it will add value to this webinar session in terms of its objectives. Briefly, my name is Kemwell Otaina Olaita, and I'm from the Solomon Islands. I am currently serving in my country as the Director of Policy Planning and Program Development in the Ministry of Traditional Governance, Peace and Ecclesiastical Affairs. At the outset, I must say that indeed it is some kind of recognition to be called an IEP Peace Ambassador. This is because of the value IEP contributes towards global peace building. The GPI in particular is a valuable resource that can help in informing pragmatic policy development and implementation for state building and peace building. In this sense, therefore, as IEP Peace Ambassadors, we are indeed assets of our various organizations and governments. Because of this, I would like to thank Rotary International for collaborating with IEP in providing this program. It is indeed one of a kind. Now, let me share a little background for context, if I may. In 2014, I initiated the idea for our ministry to partner with the newly established Solomon Islands National University in the area of peace building research, capacity and capability development. The reason being we need our policy formulation and translation processes to be better informed through research. Eventually, a MOU was signed. One of the first things we looked at was positive peace. Included also was the idea of a peace index for Solomon Islands. At that time, I wasn't still aware that there is indeed a global peace index in existence. I was first introduced to an actual global peace index in 2017, the IEP Global Peace Index 2017, during my study at the Rotary Peace Center at the Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, Thailand. I then wondered about the possibility of establishing some kind of connection with IEP for the purpose of them helping us in any way possible in building our local capacities for peace building. Usually it is my motivation that whenever I have the chance of meeting with expertise in the field of peace building or public policy, I must find ways to collaborate with them. So when the 2018 IEP Peace Ambassador program was promoted through our email network, that idea loomed large and all the more possible. I applied immediately. I did the program as carefully as possible. One thing that made me a little less happier, though, if I may use that phrase, is that our island countries in Oceania are not featured in the consecutive GPIs, except for Papua New Guinea. This is simply because we do not have the kind of data that would determine reliable conclusions. As a Solomon Islander, I do admit our limitation in terms of the state of our local statistics. But I am optimistic that we can be able to develop better statistics database to provide reliable information. But I do thank IEP for filling up the empty space by producing the SDG 16 in the Pacific Report 2018. That report is a valuable resource that would help us understand our own contexts. More so, it provides a set of recommendations on the things we need to do in order to achieve the SDGs. For my presentation in the IEP Peace Ambassador Program requirement, I improvised on the PowerPoint that was provided. I did this because I didn't want the public audience to raise questions about the state of Solomon Islands in terms of its peacefulness because we were not featured in the GPI. I used the background slides on the positive peace framework and a little bit on the GPI. I then focused on SDG 16 by making the emphasis that strong institutions are paramount and deemed foundational for the achievement of the rest of the SDGs. I used the example of our flagship policy program, which is the empowerment and strengthening of our local traditional governance systems and structures to to complement the work of formal institutions. I did this presentation on a national radio talkback show program during the commemoration of the International Day of Peace 2018. During that show, I and other two colleagues engaged with the public audience in an exciting and thought-provoking conversation. Being an IEP Peace Ambassador somehow led me to begin collaborating with the IEP. During the Rotary International Peace Symposium in Hamburg, Germany in June-July this year, I reminded my Chulalongkorn Class 22 colleague Patricia Garcia that my organization and my country needed peace-building capacity help from my colleague Peace Fellows. Our conversation then eventually led to the idea of a positive peace and sustainable development goal workshop in Solomon Islands. In mid-July, Patricia introduced me to Charles Allen from IEP through email. Since then, we have been working together for the convening of a positive peace and sustainable development goal workshop in Honiara, Solomon Islands. I am happy that Charles Allen from IEP, Patricia Garcia, and another Rotary Peace Fellow will be coming over to the Solomon Islands early next year, 2020, to conduct a 3-day positive peace and sustainable development goals workshop. That will not be the only one. Follow-up workshops will also be organized. In these workshops, my division is inviting participants from Solomon Islands government ministries and the civil society. These workshops will help in building the knowledge around the Positive Peace Framework and SDG 16, which will help us in our strive towards achieving the SDGs, and will help us develop some kind of basis and practical step in our pursuit of achieving the SDGs. This will complement some of the work that have been progressively done with the help of bilateral and multilateral partners. For Solomon Islands as a post-conflict country, conflict prevention and management should be our preoccupation, and this task shouldn't be left only to a few organizations. Peace building should be a shared responsibility. In this context, therefore, in order to build peace effectively, to achieve the desired results, building the peace-building capacity is important. These workshops are for peace-building capacity development. I'm looking forward to a more substantial collaboration with IEP. A formal partnership is a possible endeavor, which we will certainly discuss. To new IEP Peace Ambassadors, the journey that you now begin is an exciting one. You will acquire new insights and knowledge about the Positive Peace Framework and, of course, the GPI. And if I may recommend, an IEP Peace Ambassador Network will really be good. It is through such a network that we can draw from each other's experiences, expertise, and assistance in the peace-building work. I wish you a fruitful learning engagement in the IEP Peace Ambassador Program. Webinar conveners and fellow Peace Ambassadors, thank you for listening. Thank you very much.